What's going on, guys? This is Foresight Capital, just bringing you an update on the Palantir trade. It's Wednesday evening and aftermarket hours just closed. Palantir actually closed the day down at $22.51 per share, which is down 13% nearly from where it closed on Tuesday evening. But in aftermarket hours, we saw a bit of a rally, which is actually a continuation of the long-term bull trend. And so that's what I wanted to cover today. If you haven't watched any of my past Palantir videos, I'll link some of them in the cards above so that you can watch those and understand how we came to the conclusion of how this trade is playing out. So far, it's played out almost exactly as expected, and it's really exciting to see this continuation of the bull trend, because that means that this could be a good entry point for Palantir if you're an overall bull on the stock, either in a long-term hold position or in a short-term trade. If this video brings you value, all that I ask is remember to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, because it really helps me know to make more deep dives like this into stocks. Both my Neo and my Palantir series were very successful and have overall the most views and comments and engagement of any views on the channel, and I love making them, so leave a comment down below on what stock you want to see a deep dive into next. So overall on Palantir, since IPO and especially since the end of October, we've seen an overall bull trend. This is a 20-day 1-hour chart, so each of these candles represents 1 hour. And this is a 20 trading day period going all the way back to the end of October. And this long-term trend line, which is the bold red line, has been held multiple times as support for the stock as it continues its uptrend. And recently we saw a huge spike in price that really removed it significantly from this long-term uptrend line. And at this point, a lot of people started to wonder if Palantir was overvalued. And in fact, based on their revenues and sales, they realistically were overvalued at that price point and even the current price point. But currently in the market that we're in, it seems that people are willing to pay basically unlimited amounts of money for a level of sales and a level of earnings. There are PE ratios out there in the industry that are over 600 for similar companies. So it's not unthinkable for a stock to trade this far above what its realistic valuation should be, which analysts have come out to say is somewhere between the $18 down to $14 per share range. And in fact, today, what caused a bit more of a sell-off was that Morgan Stanley came out with an underweight target of $18 per share for the stock. And that caused a little bit of a sell-off in the morning, which we can see here actually caused it to come down and touch the 200 period moving average before spiking back up. What I highlighted in my video earlier today was that we were coming to a point where we were wedged between this short-term downtrend that we've seen since hitting all-time highs, which is highlighted by this red line that I'm actually going to go ahead and turn pink just so it doesn't intersect with the other long-term red line. And it was wedging us down towards the long-term red trend line here, which is the upward trend of the stock overall. And what I said was most important to look out for was this area right here, highlighted by the rectangle. I said that if we were able to get wedged up above the current long-term trend price and break above this downtrend that's been a recent happening in the stock, as we've seen the decline from $33 per share down to $23 per share, then that would indicate that we could be in a bullish pattern, because we've now broken this short-term downtrend line and are continuing this long-term uptrend. I did, however, mention that if we were to see a break below this green line and below the red line, that could indicate that we're going to see some more downward action. We did see one close today below the long-term trend line on an hourly candle, but 200-day moving average held as support, or 200-period moving average, and then we saw an instant spike back up above that. Now, if you've watched any of the past videos, you'll know that I've been saying I want to add to my position somewhere in this green area. That's sort of what I would consider the buy zone for this stock, where it limits the downside by both the 200-period moving average, a nice round number of $20 per share, and even down to 18. So while there's potential for substantial losses, I do believe in Palantir long term. And what I would effectively be looking to do is add 500 to 600 shares to my overall position, take profit at either the yellow or the red level to the point where I've made all of my money back, and then let the rest of it run. That's personally how I'm trading this stock, and I would hold the rest of the Palantir shares that after I've recouped my cost basis until basically I need to sell them for liquidity, either when I feel that Palantir is oversold or overpurchased or just overvalued in market cap. But currently, I think that we're in a good space. So we've seen now in aftermarket hours the price spike back above this green buy line, which means we're not at the absolute best period to buy. But what's very promising is that we've broken and closed above this downtrend. Now it's just a 1 hour period, so this isn't an absolute indicator yet that we've broken this downtrend. It could just be an anomaly. In fact, we saw the price move above the downtrend just a bit at one point. However, that candle ended up closing substantially below this downtrend before testing it again. We've seen a full clean break, an hour of entirely opening and closing above this line. So what this means now is over the next couple of trading days, especially Thursday, we want to see a little bit of a pullback in the stock price to test this green line again, and we don't want to close below this green line during any hour-long period. We can see the price dip below it, but if the price opens and closes an entire candle below this green line, that could show that there's going to be a continuation of the downtrend. Even though it's technically broken this resistance level, it could have just expanded it out to allow for bigger rallies within the stock while still within this downtrend channel. At that point, we'd have to consider either scaling out of the position, cutting losses, or if you're still long-term bullish on the stock, averaging down. Again, this isn't a video only for traders who are going to buy and sell rapidly, but it's for investors who are looking to find a good position to actually enter the stock at. So you don't have to think of this as how can I get in and out within a couple of hours and make money, although there's definitely the potential to do that with this stock because there's a lot of volatility. As we can see, we went from $18 per share up to $33 per share, and this was about a 3 trading day window, and then all the way back down to $20 per share. So there's money to be made on both sides of the stock. I'm just indicating simply how I would enter the trade. So now that we've had this green candle close entirely above this downtrend line, what again we're looking for is a bit of a pullback on Thursday to retest this green line. That would confirm, if we close above the green line, that the bulls may be back in control. And then what you're looking for is a little bit of an uptrend, either with heavy volume or just a slow grind back up to the yellow line. That's going to be a good indicator that we're back in control as bulls and not seeing this continuous downtrend that we have seen for the past couple of trading days. If we see a break below the line again and close, I would be a little cautious that potentially we could see the $18 to $14 per share range that some people are calling for. Though I feel like those days are in the past, I've been wrong plenty of times before, which is why you always do your own research. But so far, it's interesting to see that this trade has played out almost exactly as predicted, and we're now seeing a bit of a bullish trend. So if we can see that continue over the coming days, I'm definitely looking to add to my position and continue scaling in because I believe in Palantir in the long term being a very big company and one that can be very profitable and grow very quickly. So I hope that this video brought you some value in how I would play the trade over the coming days. Again, we're really just looking for a continuation of this breakout and the long-term trend, keeping it intact, because if we can do that, I really feel that the stock will continue a slow grind upwards, and it may not be as powerful as the move from $9 per share to $30, but I think there's a lot of value to be had in the stock if you also believe in the mission of the company. So thank you all for stopping by, and again, don't forget to subscribe so you can catch me in the next one.